Hello, hello. That is a good sign. Hello, folks. Welcome to the MIT Battlecode Sprint Tournament. Oh, fantastic. Have you all gotten access to the challenge bracket yet? I'll post that link in just a second. Aha, fantastic. There's the challenge. Everyone take a look at that if you want to see the bracket as it stands. We are skipping the first couple rounds because there are hundreds of games in this list. We're not going to do all of them. I wouldn't worry about it. So take a look at that list to see where we stand as we head into round 4. Who will take the prize of being first place? It's anyone's game, except for the people who are already out. Alright, let's get started. To start off round 1, we are looking at Baby Ducks versus Coast. We begin on Chevron. Let's see what happens. The moment it looks like the terrain is just confusing everyone. Baby Ducks is swarming towards the bottom of the map, not really going anywhere, but their units are just overwhelming Coast. Replays will be linked on the challenge, although they might not be there yet. Alright, Baby Ducks takes round 1. Welcome to Cross Stitch. Baby Duck seems to have the advantage in the local area, although Coast is branching out. Boy, that's a dangerous game down at the bottom. Coast now has all the other Enlightenment centers. Baby Duck certainly does have an advantage down below. Coast finally fighting back. Coast is mopping the floor as far as votes and influence. Baby Duck seems to have some kind of defensive wall. Baby Duck's finally actually voting. It appears to be pushing Coast back into the corner. Coast still has 3 Enlightenment centers to Baby Duck's 2. Oh, and the game is over. Coast takes it. which means that our winner for this match will be determined in round 3. Baby Duck spending a lot of time in the corner again, but oh boy, their swarm has enlarged quite a bit. Yeah, Baby Duck sweeps the floor. Alright, that match goes to Baby Ducks. On to second match of round 4. This is Mars Analytica versus Bytecode Mafia. We start on Chevron. Mars Analytica looks like it has a bit of an advantage at the moment, given that Bytecode Mafia has maybe 3 units on the board at any given time. Now this is just kind of mean. The last survivor. Will it make a surprising comeback? The answer can only be yes. Oh, the last relic of the Bytecode Mafia. I'm very curious how long it will survive. Definitely the single politician. So it appears that Mars Analytica just isn't going to bother with it. It's just not worth their time. Okay, I think we're done with this. Let's see what happens. You'll never guess. It's actually going to make it to the end of the game. That's wild. Okay. Oh, that's not good. Alright, let me know if things are getting incredibly laggy again. For the moment, we're going to move on. If it gets terrible, again, let me know, and we'll see if there's something I can do on my side to make it not bad. For now, we will move on to the next match. So Mars Analytica took the last one. So we will see if Bytecode Mafia can make a comeback this time around. Is the movement visible this time? It appears that Bytecode Mafia is not doing anything. On the other hand, Mars Analytica isn't taking the opportunity to destroy them either. Win by timeout. Alright, Mars Analytica takes this one. A little bit disappointing given that nothing really happened, but such is life. Alright, on to the third matchup. We've got Chicken versus Dama. Capital M in the middle. We start on Chevron. Chicken taking an early lead. Oh, yep, okay. Zama has very few enlightenment centers left, and now it has none. Yep. We don't need to see the end of this. There we go. Finally taking it around 500. All of the match replays will be viewable in the challenge. They'll be linked as attachments. They might not be there yet, just because difficult. Alright, Chicken wins this round. Let's see about the next. Oh boy. Dama has taken Chicken's Enlightenment Center. Oh, but Chicken gets one back. Wait, no, Chicken's not out of this yet. Is this the comeback of the century? It very well might be. Dang, yeah, Chicken's got three Enlightenment Centers now. They are very much back in the game. Oh boy. Dang, that was a good strategy from Dama and an incredible comeback from Chicken. All you guys thought a single politician wouldn't be able to win. That's incredible. Well done, Chicken. Although, you know, maybe kill the last guy. This map is literally full. That's wild. It's alright, there's not much to see right now. Alright, so Chicken takes that matchup. Next up, we've got Chocolate Banana Cake versus Team Barcode. Barcode making a break for the enemy enlightenment centers. No one's taken the neutral ones at the moment. Chocolate Banana Cake is looking awful surrounded. Oh, and that is a good point. Oh, Barcode's influence. is very high. Since it looks like Barcode is not going to attempt to destroy Banana Cake, we'll speed this up. Apologies if there's lag. Alright, and given the vote discrepancy, I think we know... Oh! Banana Cake is suddenly getting a lot of votes. Can they catch up in the remaining 400 turns? Oh! Almost! Wow! With one vote difference. These are some close matches. Closer than I would have expected. Well, Barcode takes this one. Let's see if Chocolate Banana Cake can win the next. Things are starting out slow. Barcode is out adventuring, looking for more places to go, while Banana Cake is mostly on the defensive. Once again, Barcode is definitely leading the way in terms of influence. Somehow none of the Enlightenment Centers have been discovered yet. Looks like this competition maybe ended. Center. Oh, we found one. Both Barcode and Banana Cake have found the corner ones. Let's see if they can take the time to colonize. Banana Cake is very much surrounded at the moment. Alright, and it looks like this will just be the status quo. Barcode steadily amassing votes. Once again, Banana Cake may have enough influence to catch up in the remaining 800 or so turns. I don't know, it's close. Not again! Fair enough, yeah. Alright, Barcode takes this game. Next up, we've got Waffle versus Anti-Vax Kids. Personally, I hope Waffle wins. Waffle's taking some of those neutral enlightenment centers. Oh, Waffle's taking some of those anti-vaxxer enlightenment centers. And I think we know where this is going now. I think we know where this is going now. Waffle's likely going to take this one. Alright, Waffle wins first game. Next up, we're on Cross Stitch. We'll see if anti-vax kids can take back the lead. Waffle has almost eradicated the anti-vax kids, except for a singular unit. We're going to speed this up. Once again, I think we know where this is going. On the upside, nothing much was happening. Perhaps I can make it be less gross. Alright, yeah, we'll go with that then. We'll stop the games once a team has reached majority in the name of ending this a little bit faster. Alright. Oh yeah, we've done 5 matchups so far. Time to speed things up a little bit. Waffle takes this matchup. Next up, we got Kansas City Asians versus Lee's Morons. And we begin. Lee definitely has numerical advantage and is ahead in influence. But Kansas City, well, no, looks like they're on the losing end of the Enlightenment Center trade. Yeah, and they're now out. I think here's what we'll do then. I'll play it on very fast after 1,500 votes, which will be extremely blurry for most of you, but if the board is entirely blue or red, it will be rather clear what's happening. Such as right now. These Morons has more than 1,500 votes and almost the entire map, so we can put this on as fast as it goes. And watch as nothing much happens. Lee takes this game. All right, we move on to Cross Stitch. Kansas City lost their first couple of units in their speedy attack. Thanks, Rob. We'll do that then. And then rewind if anything exciting happens. Alright, looks like Lise Morons is going to take this one too. Kansas City Asians have what looks like a singular politician, which, well, again, we shouldn't scoff at, given what's happened previously, is unlikely to win them the game. Yeah. We'll wait till these morons have 1,500 and then jump to the end. Alright. Yep, as expected. These morons takes that matchup. Alright, next up, we've got Hardcoders versus Kryptonite. Once again, we start on Chevron. Kryptonite being very aggressive and coming out the better for it. Yeah, and Hardcoders lost their last unit. Hey, don't make fun of my browser. That's rude. Kryptonite takes the last match. Oh, Hardcoders took Kryptonite's Enlightenment Center. If they can... Yeah, it looks like they've got this. Alright, so it comes down to the third game. I don't think we've maybe seen this map like once before. Oh yeah, fun fact. The crown jewels were supposed to actually look like a crown, but they got flipped at some point. I wouldn't worry about it. Kryptonite looks like it has some scary rotating defense, which is pretty cool. It's looking like Kryptonite has this one. Speed things up a little bit. I think the map is just static now. Rounds is still progressing, but no one can move. Kryptonite wins. Alright, Camelcase versus Too Old for This. Camelcase taking on the center very aggressively. Definitely has the advantage in terms of influence. Too Old for This is out of units. We move on to cross-stitch. Camelcase can't seem to get out of their starting area. And 2 ult for this defeats all of Camelcase's units. Good job. Alright, we move on to Crown Jewels for like the 3rd time. Camelcase is the first to get more Enlightenment Centers. Oh boy, and they suddenly have 5. Too old for this is 1. Camelcase sweeps. Camelcase takes this matchup. Next up, Super Cow Powers versus Pigeons. Super Cow Powers has control of the centers, and Pigeons is down to 1 Enlightenment Center. And they're now down to 0 Enlightenment Centers. Yeah, and it looks like we know where this is going to go. Apparently there are... Yeah, we'll skip to the end. Yep. Nice job, Super Cow Powers. Alright. Next up, move on to cross-stitch. Oh, Super Cow Power is just 8 Pigeons Enlightenment Center. Pigeons gotta do some, Oh no, they don't have the politicians for it. Well, we'll speed this up. Apologies for the probable lag, but... Yep. Super Cow Powers waited until the last moment to eat Pigeon's final unit. Good job, Super Cow Powers. Next up, we've got Rua, ! Versus Big L Club. Sorry, Huge L Club. Both teams are on the offensive now. Huge L has found one of Rua's Enlightenment Centers. But the opposite is also true. Rua has encased several of Huge L Club's Enlightenment Centers. And then expands. That's kind of nifty. So we'll see if Huge L Club can recover from this, but it doesn't seem likely. We'll speed this up. I'm liking Rua's encapsulate expand strategy. It's very aesthetic. I'm excited to see what that looks like on a bigger map. Alright, as fun as that is to watch, I'm going to speed this up again, as fast as it goes. We probably know where this is going. Alright, Rua has a majority, so we skip to the end, and yes. Rua takes game 1. Alright, on to cross-stitch. Both fighting each other over their home base. Oh, and Rua's doing the encapsulation expansion thing once again. And they've encapsulated the Huge L Club's 1 Enlightenment Center. We'll speed this up. You probably know where it's going. Oh, but this is very satisfying to watch. Huge L Club does have the lead in votes. Yeah, but it looks like Rua is edging them out. With this much control over the map. Yeah, Rua takes the lead. We'll speed things up a little bit. Yeah, alright. Rua takes this matchup. Next up, 3 Musketeers versus Step 0. Three Musketeers has the edge in Enlightenment Setters. Step 0 has the edge in votes, but that doesn't look like it's going to matter since they're down to just units. Yep, we probably know where this is going. We'll skip to the end. Yeah, 3 Musketeers takes this one. Next up, we move on to Cross Stitch. Can Step 0 make up the lead? Well, they can certainly try. It looks like they're going for colonization over defense. All but 3 Musketeers has a bit of an advantage there. Ah, yeah, Step 0 has lost their Enlightenment Center. And 3 Musketeers takes it. Alright, 3 Musketeers wins that matchup. Code Not Found versus Blue Steel. Start on Chevron. It's just a melee right now, but Blue Steel has nearly encapsulated all of Code Not Found's Enlightenment Centers. Though there's enough shifting that Code Not Found can get some units out. Code Not Found has definitely taken the lead as far as votes. If Blue Steel lets them get a majority, then this is a little bit moot. Oh no, and Blue Steel lost their Enlightenment Center. So it looks like Code Not Found is going to... Yeah, with no Enlightenment Centers, there's not much they can do. And we'll skip to the end. Yep. Code Not Found takes the cake. Or Code. Alright, rematch on Cross Stitch. Code Not Found is on the defensive. Blue Steel is running low on units. a little bit of a stalemate here, where Blue Steel is steadily amassing votes, but not really being able to do anything with its politicians. Alright, Blue Steel has the majority, so unless Code Not Found gets its act together and spends some of its influence to, Where did all of their units go? What is happening here? Alright. Blue Steel continues throwing units at Code Not Found while just taking all the votes. And Code Not Found kept swatting them down and not doing anything about it. So Blue Steel takes it. Alright, we move on to Crown Jewels. Blue Steel being very aggressive. They've got several Enlightenment Centers to their name, while Code Not Found is finding itself a little bit surrounded. Code Not Found is taking the lead as far as votes. Yeah, I believe there's one extra tile of space off here that we can't see. Oh, that is very pretty. Blue Steel's defensive. It's a very nice defensive pattern. Blue Steel is taking the lead as far as votes. Definitely has the lead in influence. Alright, now that Blue Steel has a majority and Code Not Found is pretty boxed in, I think we'll skip to the end. Yeah, Blue Steel takes it. So Blue Steel wins this matchup. Next up we got Nicola versus Download More RAM. Nicola taking a large number of Enlightenment Centers puts Download More RAM on the back foot. And it looks like they are running out of places to go. Download More RAM is the only team with votes. And Nicola has decided to rectify this problem. Alright, it looks like Nicola's gonna win. I'm gonna speed this up, so apologies for lag. Oh no, Download More RAM is gobbling up all the votes and no one's stopping them. Oh boy, alright. Nicola really should have taken the opportunity to destroy the opposition, because download more RAM wins. It's a good job. We'll see if Nicola learns from its mistakes. Both teams have an extra Enlightenment Center. Nicola is ahead in terms of units, but more RAM, once again, is the only team with votes. Nicola takes almost all the Enlightenment Centers and is catching up in the vote game. We'll see if they maintain that lead this time. Nicola's ahead in every category. They need to stay ahead in all of those categories. That is a ludicrous amount of influence. And Nicola takes the majority. Let's skip to the end. Yeah. Nicola wins. Which means it's down to the third game. As has been the trend, Nicola's ahead in influence by quite a bit, but Download More RAM is the only team with votes. It looks like Nicola's taken a defensive stance. Oh boy! Oh, what just happened? Okay, we're gonna watch that again. Wow, okay, so it just swept through the wave of politicians. Man. Well, that was very fun to watch. Way to go, Download More RAM. Nice. Alright. We've got this team versus Ripples. This team playing very aggressively. Ripples focusing on the vote and influence game. It doesn't look like it'll matter if they get completely surrounded like this. It looks like this team's plan is to surround all the enemy enlightenment centers with as many units as possible, which may not be a bad strategy. Seems like the map will turn into something of a stalemate, and it'll come down to whoever has the most votes. This team focusing on voting. Definitely leading there. This team takes the lead as far as votes. And Ripples tried to make up the difference, but it was way too late. Alright. This team takes that one. On to Cross Stitch. Both teams fighting for control of that lower section. Ripples has got an extra Enlightenment Center, but their original is surrounded. Oh, and so is their backup. Once again, Ripples is ahead in the influence and votes game, but this team has the numerical advantage for sure. Yeah, and this team is catching up with the votes. So if they gain a majority, it looks like we know where this is headed. Yeah, and this team takes the majority. And the win. Alright, this team takes that matchup. Next up, we've got Producing Perfection versus Veto. Just as an FYI, we'll take about a 10-minute break after the next two matchups before we start round 5. So that'll put us about halfway through the tournament. Producing Perfection, oh man, just sweeps. That was satisfying to watch. Let's see if Veto makes a better showing on Cross Stitch. No, but Producing Perfection just sweeps again in 43 turns. Oh, way to go. Alright. Final matchup in round 4 is Mallet Fat Cats versus Remote Ed. Remoted. I don't know. Those might be two separate words. Mallet Fat Cats looks like it's trying for the surround everything in sight strategy. And Remoted is very low on Enlightenment Centers at the moment. Oh, it looks like there was a politician nuke. Which definitely gives Remoted an advantage. Oh man, yeah. They have almost... Mallet Fat Cats has no Enlightenment Centers left, so this very much looks like it's going to remoted. Map looks very different than it did a moment ago. We'll speed this up in case Mallet Fat Cats perhaps does the same thing back. No, but it doesn't look like it. Remoted's got the majority as far as votes, and it looks like nothing is really happening on the Mallet Fat Cats end of things. In fact, I don't think they've moved at all since they lost their Enlightenment Centers. Yeah. Alright. Remoted takes that one. Let's take a look at Cross Stitch. Mallet Fat Cats being very aggressive. Surrounded Remoted. One Enlightenment Center they have so far. This is looking kind of dire for Remoted. Given that they have no units and no ability to make any. So I guess we'll see what happens. It might be that Mallet Fat Cats lets them get away with the majority. Oh boy. Mallet Fat Cats, don't do it. Don't let them have this. Oh boy. They did it. Alright, I guess we'll skip ahead in case the Fat Cats decide to finally destroy the last Enlightenment Center, but looks like they've given away the game. Yeah, alright. Remoted takes that one as well. And that's it for round 4. We'll take about a 10-minute break before we come back to round 5. So, see y'all back here in just a minute. Alright, we're back. I'll wait around a bit for the technical difficulties I probably caused. I have a cup of warm beverage this time, so everything will be better. Great, alright, I think we have enough people that I feel confident starting again. We pick up round 5 with Baby Ducks versus Mars Analytica. This is a repeat map. We're going to spend a lot of time on Crown Jewels this round. Mars Analytica picking up votes in Enlightenment Centers. Baby Ducks fighting back. Baby Ducks has taken quite a few more Enlightenment Centers, yeah. And they're finally contesting the vote game. Oh boy. And they sweep. Baby Ducks takes round 1. Matchup 1. Whatever. Ah! This map is beautiful. Gaurav, you made this one, right? Well, everyone, welcome to Cow. Aptly named. Mars Analytica and Baby Ducks are duking it out again. Baby Ducks has collected enlightenment centers a little more successfully. It looks like Baby Ducks is just slowly sweeping. Yeah, there we go. Mars Analytica is out of units. Alright, Baby Ducks takes that matchup. Next up is Chicken versus Barcode. Chicken taking enlightenment centers, quite a few of them. Barcode behind in that particular game. And they're running out of units to fight back with, although they are ahead in votes. And Chicken takes that lead. We'll watch this all the way through in case of a last-minute upset, but it looks like... Oh, Barcode is taking votes. And Chicken finally decided to eat the last enlightenment center. Well done, Chicken. Alright, next match. Back to Cow. And it's very difficult to say what's going on here. Chicken has nearly surrounded one of Barcode's enlightenment centers. Beyond that, it's tough to say. Chicken is being more successful gathering neutral enlightenment centers, so it looks like this is leaning in their direction. And as the number of Barcode's units diminish. Although they are definitely ahead in votes by quite a bit. If they can get that extra 500 and survive. But honestly, survival at this point will be at Chicken's behest. Chicken's coming back with the votes. And they've taken all the enlightenment centers. Barcode has 2 remaining politicians. Politicians are still alive. Yeah, alright, we'll speed this up. Chicken won by virtue of exploding those remaining politicians. So Chicken takes that matchup. Alright, next up we've got Waffle versus Lee's Morons. Waffle taking enlightenment centers left and right. And they just got 2 more. These morons are running out of neutral places to go. And their Enlightenment Center has been captured, and only a couple units remain. Let's speed this up. Waffle is ahead in the votes. It looks like Lee's Morons is not going to come back from this. So we will jump to the end. Yeah, there we go. Waffle takes it on votes. Once again, it looks like Waffle is in the lead here. They've taken all of the neutral Enlightenment Centers and definitely control the map. These morons ahead in the votes. But Waffle is making up that lead. With one more Enlightenment Center left. Oh, never mind. I spoke too soon. Lee's victory is looking difficult here. So we will skip ahead, jump to the finish. And Waffle wins by virtue of filling the board and also having more votes. Alright, Waffle takes that matchup. We now have Kryptonite versus Camelcase. Camelcase is ahead in Enlightenment Centers. But Kryptonite is being much more aggressive. Oh, and they just stole 2 Enlightenment Centers. Camelcase takes one back, takes both back. But Kryptonite is still very much on the offensive here. Kryptonite takes that game. All right, second game. Move on to Cow. Oh, that's rough. Camelcase seemed to be doing the best to hide its slanderers, but Kryptonite got to them. Yeah, Camelcase is out of units. Kryptonite takes that matchup. Next up is Super Cow Powers versus Rua. Excited to see Rua's breathing offense. It looks like Super Cow Powers is not going to give him the chance. Rua's out of Enlightenment Centers and very close to out of units. Cow Powers is starting for... Oh, Rua ran out of units. Cow Powers takes it. Alright, we move on to the Cow map. Super Cow Powers home theme advantage helped them here? Probably. Rua's very aesthetic placement of units doesn't seem to be helping too much. Cow Powers has taken the Enlightenment Centers there to be taken Alright, Super Cow Powers takes that matchup, and they will move on to round 6. Next up, we've got 3 Musketeers versus Blue Steel. Musketeers taking Enlightenment Centers. Blue Steel is behind in that particular game. Blue Steel instead is on the offensive. Oh, they've got one in... No, their offensive paid off. They took almost all of the Musketeers' Enlightenment Centers. Oh, the Musketeers did not get them back. Musketeers filling the map, giving Blue Steel very little places to go. And Musketeers leading in votes too. Blue Steel doesn't seem to be making a bid on those. So, seems like we know where this is going. The map is just solid. Yeah, alright. Musketeers has the majority, and they win. Alright. Moving on to Cow. Let's see if Blue Steel can make a comeback. Blue Steel being aggressive once again. The Musketeers having the advantage in Enlightenment Centers. They're ahead in both votes and influence as well. Blue Steel finally taking the other Enlightenment Centers in the Cow, only to lose the one in the tail. Not much is happening right now. 3 Musketeers working on encircling the Blue Steel Enlightenment Center, the only one that's left. Blue Steel focusing on defense instead of votes, which is unlikely to work out well for it, given the amount of blue on the board. Speed this up as 3 Musketeers takes the last Enlightenment Center and takes the majority in votes. So we'll skip to the end here. The map is full. Yeah, this is not what we expected. Yeah, this is no different than what we expected. Alright, 3 Musketeers takes that matchup. So now we're looking at Download More RAM versus Dis Team. This team attacking Download More RAM's Enlightenment Centers. Download More RAM has more Enlightenment Centers. Download More RAM also has more votes. So we'll have to see if this team's offensive can break that. Doesn't look like RAM's defense is broken through this team. Now all they have to do is sit and farm votes. This team's offensive looks like it's once again gaining the upper hand. So it'll depend on whether or not they can fully wipe out Download More RAM, looks like. Oh, this team is getting ahead in the... not getting ahead, but getting votes. Still tied on Enlightenment Centers. This team has more influence to burn and more units to defend with. Oh, never mind. This team never bothered to claim that neutral one in the corner. They've now got the advantage in votes. It seems like things are working out in their favor. Download more RAM is pushing them back. Oh, what just happened there? Well, this team is suddenly a lot lighter on units. Download more RAM is still making no headway on the votes, though. They don't seem to be attacking either. This team might make that back up. Wow, this team actually looks to be in a better place than it was before that. It's almost encapsulated Ram's remaining Enlightenment Centers, and it's building its forces back up. Rams are gaining votes. It remains to see who will win that particular race, though this team is definitely ahead. And they've taken the majority. So it's now down to whether Download More RAM can completely wipe them, which they could not. Alright. Download More RAM loses game 1. On cow. This team controlling the edges, it seems. No one seems to be making a play for any of the Enlightenment Centers. This team taking the lead in both influence and votes. Once again, no one's really playing for those Enlightenment Centers. Download More RAM finally has an extra 2 when sitting in the cow. This team doesn't seem to care. Rams are fighting back, pushing this team back into its corner. They were briefly winning the vote game. Looks like they're about evenly matched as far as the rate of getting new votes. Download More RAM has the edge in Enlightenment Centers. They've now breached this team's cow. Everyone's decided that the Enlightenment Centers in that box bottom, whatever we've decided that is, it's just too hard to get to, so there's no worth trying. Value in trying. This team ahead in the votes by about 400. And ahead in influence, despite the Rams' definite advantage in Enlightenment Centers. This team is contesting the Enlightenment Center in the tail. Remains to be seen whether that will go anywhere. And this team has an advantage in votes. Game's going to end in about 20 turns, so it looks like this team takes it. This team is going on to round 6. Alright. Next up, we got Producing Perfection versus Remote Ed. Producing Perfection is the team with the pretty good rush strategy. So we'll see if they can take it this time. Remote Ed is suddenly finding itself very surrounded, and they are out of Enlightenment Centers, which means Producing Perfection wins that game. Alright, second matchup. Remote Ed producing Slanders. Producing Perfection matching them there. Producing Perfection has the lead in votes. That looks like has finally discovered where Remote Ed's Enlightenment Centers are. Yeah, Producing Perfection is rushing. They've taken that last Enlightenment Center. And Remote Ed is hanging on by a string. Most of its units can't go anywhere. So we will speed this up. Alright. We probably know who wins this. Producing Perfection takes majority. And game is over. Now. Producing Perfection wins and we'll move on to round 6. Round 6 starts off with baby ducks versus chickens on a new map. This is a big one, vaguely maze-like. Chicken is exploring, whereas Baby Ducks is still a little bit stuck in the corner. Chicken now has 4 Enlightenment Centers to its name. Just nearly found one on the bottom. Baby Ducks is coming back out. And Baby Ducks is slowly getting more and more expansionist. They've got the advantage as far as influence, and they're slowly regaining the advantage in votes. Board is now split about half and half. This chicken tries to fight off Baby Ducks' advance. Chicken's Enlightenment Center in the corner is almost entirely surrounded by politicians. Oh, and while I wasn't looking, Baby Ducks just swept through all of Chicken's defenses. That Chicken is almost fresh out of units. Now this map is called Branches. Baby Ducks takes the game. Alright. Only about halfway through. We'll have to see if Chicken take back the lead on Andromeda. Chicken seems to be better at exploring at the moment, while Baby Ducks has a more concentrated defense. Getting stuck in the little whorls at the top. Ooh, and Chicken has a very aggressive looking Enlightenment Center right next to them. Baby Ducks finally gets one of their own. Chicken has more space on the map under control, definitely more enlightenment centers, but Baby Duck seems to be doing a decent job at keeping its slanderers protected. And as such has the advantage in influence. It's earning votes faster than Chicken now. And they've consolidated control of the top half of the map. Ball is in Baby Duck's court now. It'll fall a Chicken to successfully defend against them. Chicken's first Enlightenment Center is surrounded by politicians, and it has been turned. Baby Duck's leading in influence votes and just straight up number of things controlled on the map at the moment. Chicken just loses another Enlightenment Center. Their central one is nearly surrounded, although it appears that Baby Duck's politicians have gotten stuck in the whorls. Oh, Baby Duck suddenly wins. Alright. Baby Ducks takes that round, and they will move on to the semifinals. Next up is Waffle versus Kryptonite. We start on branches. Kryptonite leading in influence. No one's really trying for votes yet. Oh, Waffle decided to prove me wrong. Waffle's gotten more than half the Enlightenment Centers on the map. Kryptonite is getting a little bit boxed into that corner. They're fighting Waffle's southmost? Do these maps have directions on them? Probably not. Waffle's defenses are holding against Kryptonite, or perhaps Kryptonite just isn't trying to destroy them. But most of Waffle's units are stuck in the sides. They're not super helpful. Waffle leading in the votes. In the polls, I guess you could say. Kryptonite hasn't been able to take those central two Enlightenment Centers, but with that many units around them, it doesn't look like those Enlightenment Centers will be able to produce units anyway. Waffle is nearing majority. And they've got it. Remains to be seen whether Kryptonite can clean out Waffle, which seems unlikely at this point. So we'll speed this up. Yeah, and Waffle takes this match. This game, rather. Move on to Andromeda. Waffle at the top. Poking around. Hasn't found any of the Enlightenment Centers yet, but Kryptonite hasn't taken any either. Oh, Waffle's got some Enlightenment Centers to its name. Kryptonite once again with the more solid defense, but fewer Enlightenment Centers. Seems to be sending most of its units on attack to Waffle's central Enlightenment Center. Ooh, and Waffle's got another closer. Kryptonite gains an Enlightenment Center in the corner. But Waffle gains the other. Waffle's winning as far as influence. If they can use that effectively, Kryptonite will be in trouble. Kryptonite may have successfully encapsulated Enlightenment Center in the center there. But Waffle is defending the others pretty well. It's anyone's game as far as votes at the moment. Although Kryptonite is in the lead, this might come down to whether or not Waffle has enough units in coordination to destroy Kryptonite. Or if it can just throw enough influence at the problem. The moment is kind of anyone's game, but it looks like we've reached a sort of equilibrium for now, so I'll speed this up. Throwing enough influence at things solves all your problems. Alright, Waffle takes the lead in votes. And it looks like Kryptonite's offensives have not succeeded. Trying another on Waffle's Central Enlightenment Center. But it wasn't in time, and Waffle wins. Alright, Waffle will move on to the semifinals. Next up is Super Cow Powers versus Three Musketeers. We start off on branches. Three Musketeers expanding, Super Cow Powers doing the same. Musketeers are in the lead as far as votes. But as for territory, right now it's anyone's game. Super Cow Power's taken some Musketeer Enlightenment Centers. Should definitely hurt. And the Musketeers are down to their original... Never mind, they have no Enlightenment Centers. Will their lead in votes from the beginning be enough to tide them over? Seems like no, because they've just lost their last unit. Cow Powers takes game 1. Time for a rematch on Andromeda. Super Cow Powers taking 3-4 Enlightenment Centers and attacking the Musketeers. Musketeers on the defensive here, although they have more votes once again. Musketeers have lost all of their Enlightenment Centers. Oh boy, it's looking dire for the Musketeers. With no politicians left, it looks not great. And Super Cow Powers will be headed to the semifinals. Up next is Dis Team versus Producing Perfection. Producing Perfection, gobbling Enlightenment Centers as it finds them. This team is on the offensive, it seems, headed for Producing Perfection's home area. This team is down to 1 Enlightenment Center. Producing Perfection has just discovered where that is. And there we go. Producing Perfection sweeps once again. We move on to Andromeda. to determine who the final participant in the semifinals shall be. Producing Perfection gobbling up some Enlightenment Centers as it discovers them. This team down to 1 with 1 yet unclaimed. Never mind, Producing Perfection's got it. Producing Perfection seems to be dedicating a lot of forces to hurting these folks down here. But given that it's nearly encapsulated all of this team's forces, that strategy seems to be working out for it. Perfection is definitely ahead in the votes. Given that this team has none so far. Doesn't look like this team's going to have a chance to make a play for the rest of the map, so if they don't spend some time voting, it looks like Producing Perfection's got it. Producing Perfection has a majority, and only now does this team get the votes it needs. Seems Producing Perfection was starving them out of that particular market. It looks like we know how this is going to end, so we will skip ahead. Now that Producing Perfection has filled the map. Alright. Producing Perfection takes that game and will head on to the semifinals. Speaking of, here's what things look like at the moment. We've got Baby Ducks versus Waffle, and Super Cow Powers versus Producing Perfection. We'll start off with Baby Ducks versus Waffle on 5 of Hearts. Waffle gaining some Enlightenment Centers. Baby Ducks seem to be consolidating their forces and focusing on Slanderers. Baby Ducks is taking back Waffle's hard-earned gains. Waffle's now down to 3 Enlightenment Centers. Remain to be seen if they can retain them. And Waffle has been eaten by Baby Ducks. We move on to Rainbow. If Waffle loses here, it's out, because that's how it works. Waffle taking some Enlightenment Centers. Baby Ducks focusing on the Slanders once again. Oh, Baby Ducks eating up all those Enlightenment Centers Waffle just got. And Waffle is out of Enlightenment Centers. Baby Ducks takes it. Baby Ducks will be in the finals. Will the Baby Ducks face Super Cow Powers or Producing Perfection? We have yet to find out. Baby Super Cow Powers briefly had the lead in Enlightenment Centers. Oh, and it's taken Producing Perfections back. The two teams are fighting over that Enlightenment Center in the center. It seems like Producing Perfection has the edge at the moment. Both have discovered the centers towards the top of the screen. But as far as influence and geography, teams seem pretty well matched. Producing Perfection has the edge in votes, so Super Cow Powers will need to get an advantage. Speaking of, Super Cow Powers has taken Producing Perfection's Northern Enlightenment Center. Well, they're still duking it out over the central one. And Super Cow Powers has eaten all of them. All that remains is Producing Perfection, Singular Politician. If oh, never mind. Super Cow Powers has eaten the politician, and we'll see who goes on to the semifinals. Who goes on to the actual finals. It's just a bloodbath over the central Enlightenment Centers. Never mind, Super Cow Powers has quite consolidated them. And once again, Producing Perfection is down to one politician in a very small number of turns. Not looking great for Producing Perfection, but if they can keep that politician alive... no, they cannot. Alright, on to the final. Baby Ducks versus Super Cow Powers. Who will be your Sprint 1 champion? We start on Illusion. The other teams have discovered the Enlightenment Centers yet to be found, and they both find them at once. Super Cow Powers has got the advantage in the center. Neither team is looking at votes at the moment. They've both found those corner Enlightenment Centers, but Super Cow Powers retains the center and is still in the lead. Super Cow Powers slowly encroaching. And Baby Ducks has one remaining politician. That seems to be the trend. Super Cow Powers takes that match. Alright, next up we've got Baby Ducks versus Super Cow Powers on Not a Puzzle. I don't know, seems likely that this is a puzzle somehow. Baby Ducks have an extra Enlightenment Center, but Super Cow Powers can stay the same. Duking it out in the center. Baby Duck's stash of slanderers looking like a mighty juicy target. Well, Super Cow Powers are more spread out. They're roughly tied as far as Enlightenment Centers. Although Baby Ducks now has the advantage there. Baby Ducks taking control of the center and filling all the available space with slanderers. Oh, and Super Cow Powers is out of Enlightenment Centers and out of units. Baby Ducks takes that round. We now head to the last match. Super Cow Powers versus Baby Ducks. The winner takes home being the winner of Sprint 1. Which is pretty cool, so, good job, whoever does it. Super Cow Powers has an extra Enlightenment Center, and an extra 2. Baby Ducks focusing on the slanderers and defending its homeland. And Cow Powers takes that Enlightenment Center. All that's left are slanderers. Cow Powers is the winner of Sprint Tournament number 1. Round of applause to Super Cow Powers for a very impressive bot. Alright, well played everyone. We've seen some very exciting things today. I guess we're done here. See you all in the future.